This is the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and all the news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by the Philadelphia Protestant Home, Rob's Automotive and Collision, SEPTA, The Capitol Grill, Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, Ventresca's Custom Clothing, Chickies and Pete's, Begley, Carlin, and Mandio Law Firm, Hand and Stone Spa, Financial Services, BCWSA, and CJ's Tire and Automotive. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much. Here we are at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern, and it is playoff weekend, and the excitement escalates.
It's a Philly thing. That's what they were saying today in the locker room. It's a Philly thing. But, hey, it's the same thing out here in Malvern.
What is it a Philly thing?
It
could be a Malvern thing.
It's
it could be
the
a Westchester thing.
They got a T-shirt and a hoodie, and you know, Jason Kelsey wouldn't even comment on it for some reason. I don't know, licensing or something. It was kind of funny. But that's the new motto. It's a Philly thing. Well, we know what that means, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what it means, but it does mean that the Eagles have a game on Saturday night at 8:15 against the New York Football Giants.
Right, and temperatures are going to be right around freezing for the game. But, so, and that benefits the Eagles, I would think.
No.
Why not?
Why? Because the Giants aren't coming from Arizona. The Giants aren't coming from Tampa Bay.
Once you get behind by 2 touchdowns and it's 30 degrees, it impacts you, right?
I don't think it has. I don't think there is an impact. I think you're talking about 2 cold weather teams.
All right. Well, I'm not so sure about that. But and hey, the Giants are coming off a win in what? Minnesota?
In a dome.
In that dome, right? Exactly.
Dome. Yeah.
They've had it easy, Merrill.
They haven't had it easy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I give the Giants all the credit in the world because they played at the U.S. Bank Stadium and they did a great job. That was one of the best games the Giants have played in a long time.
Well, definitely the quarterback, Daniel Jones, and but the other side of that coin is, Daniel Jones played great. You put Jalen Hurts in that same situation, and he's going to go nuts.
Look, that I am a Jalen Hurts fan.
Yeah.
That I am somebody
that
who
Minnesota defense.
I spent a whole year trying to convince you that he was the quarterback of the future. And you were telling me all kinds of things like he doesn't have it or 17 other excuses that his arm strength is marginal.
I just said you got to explore.
You were a pain in the neck.
Russell Wilson, you got to explore.
That would have been great.
You got to explore Deshaun Watson. They did.
There's 2 disasters. One did it with his behavior, Deshaun Watson. And Russell Wilson was awful this year in Denver. Absolutely awful. Thank goodness you didn't do anything with your wallet didn't bet anybody. Really.
Well, I wouldn't have mortgaged the future, but they had to take a look at it because Jalen was still a relatively unproven commodity.
Not to people who know.
All right.
Not to people who knew. When I watched him at Alabama, and then I liked him at Alabama a whole lot more than Tua Tagovailoa. And then I watched him in his senior year at Oklahoma. I said, or actually it was his postgraduate year at Oklahoma. I said, here is a great young quarterback. He's won at every single level. He's got a big-time arm. He's a great athlete. He's smart. He's dedicated. He was missing nothing.
Well, you mentioned Tua, too. He had a great year, but now his whole future is
really
in doubt.
jeopardy.
Yeah, right. With the concussions and that. And that is wow. What a tough break for him and for the Dolphins. But it looks like the Eagles have found their guy. It sure does.
They have
MVP candidate.
More than looks like.
So what happens now, Merrill? They can sign him to an extension at any time. January 9th was the opening of, if you want to open contract extension talks.
Yeah, but we have no idea.
January
what's going
9th.
on. They may very well have.
Yeah. So
they're not going to announce.
Let me ask you this, though. Right after the season, no matter how it ends?
I would think, yes, no matter how the season ends, that before they go to training camp next summer, Jalen Hurts will be making close to $50 million a year.
Well, and you think they should ante up that money?
I think they will.
They don't have much of a choice, really.
No, of course they
It's
don't.
tough to find a quarterback. It really is.
Especially one of this
That's
ilk.
That
He's
is a lot of
special.
money, Merrill, but, I mean, what happens to your salary cap after that?
You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's every team has to deal with it. That's why you can really make a move if you sign a rookie quarterback and he's under a rookie contract, and in the 4 years or 3 years, whatever it is, you can really make a move because you're not paying one of these huge quarterback
You're right,
contracts.
and they've got a lot of assets, draft assets, and that's the other way you replenish your team with those draft picks.
Now,
going
how
forward.
about the Giants? Now, it appears that they made a mistake because they did not pick up the option originally on Daniel Jones. And now he can go.
No. They can
They
sign.
can put him in.
They can franchise him.
They can.
Yeah,
yes,
like,
they can.
At least
I'm saying they can, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that they might have been better to sign him before the season at a more reasonable rate.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't come on as strongly as he is at this moment.
Hey, he was kind of an unproven commodity too, though, at that time. So why would you want to really sign him? But talk about unproven commodities. We have one of the great guests of all time,
We do,
right?
We do. But
An
he,
unproven
No,
commodity.
he is not an unproven commodity.
Well-
he was proven to be a great linebacker with the Detroit Lions. The Eagles gave up Wilbur Montgomery at the very end of his career.
He had 4.5 sacks
But
in a game
Gary,
for the
he
Eagles.
did against the Atlanta Falcons. Garry Cobb is our guest tonight. Not only was he a great NFL player, he is a great broadcaster, a wonderful, wonderful student of the game, and somebody who I have always been happy to call a friend. Gary, great to have you with us. Thank you for coming all the
Hey.
way out to Malvern tonight.
Thank you. Pleasure being here. It's a great time, and of course, great time in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Very,
It is, isn't it?
A great season. They had a great regular season, and now, they got to step it up to be able to go against some of the better teams in the league. The Giants are playing great football,
They are.
and they've got to be at the top of their game.
Is this your first time here in Malvern?
I believe here.
Yeah, this is nice. How do you like the place?
This is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, this is nice. That dark wood and everything, I love it.
It
You
really
like
is.
that? You're a dark wood guy.
I'm a dark wood guy. That's right. I like that dark wood. It looks good. And you can see you've got plenty of room in here. And, for big guys to sit down and stuff their face, huh?
Yeah.
You could even place a wager down here.
You can, yes.
Ooh.
Yes, there
Oh,
there
baby.
is sports betting here at Chickies and Pete's.
Is
They
that
got it
so,
all.
huh?
They have it all.
That
Yeah.
Pete boy, he is, what do you say, stepping up his game.
Well, Pete has been stepping up his game for a long time.
I mean, the best of the best. His places. You can't say enough about the hospitality and the way that he has some great workers, and they do a great job. It really has a great reputation. Everywhere I go now, it used to be where you're in the Philadelphia area, but now they're talking about Pete and all over the country.
Oh, they
I mean,
are. They are. He's got one in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think Andy had something to do
Does
with
he
that.
have
so.
one in Arizona?
I know
I know he's got something in Vegas.
He's got one in Texas.
Yeah.
He's got a son at the University of Texas.
Is that so?
And they have opened one in Texas.
Is
and
that-
they have one in Boston. They're all over down the shore.
Yeah, well,
they're all
yeah,
over
yeah.
the place.
No doubt about it.
Pete
man.
knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, and I tell you what.
The
boy,
house that Crab Fries built.
Hey, the guy knows
that.
what he's doing.
That's got a ring
No doubt
to it.
about it. Mr. Pete, and I know he's excited about this time. This is a great time.
Well, he
got
is.
that little itch, boy.
You know who else
Nope.
knows what he's doing? Nick Sirianni. He's having a great year. And
Yeah.
gee, I asked him this today because Dick Vermeil was talking about this as well.
Uh-huh.
He gave up, well, he decided that Shane Steichen would call the plays. And it was last year, before it was ahead of the Chargers game. They lost that game. It was close. But since then, their record is 20-6. That was a pretty good idea. And he feels
Very good.
He feels like Vermeil said he did during his coaching career. when he came back.
Well, to be able to see everything.
Exactly. He feels like a much better game manager, on the game days. Not looking at that play sheet. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's I think there's a lot to that because it's really hard, to be focused on something and be able to see the big picture at the same time when you're so close to looking at the details of this specific play and which play should I call, and you're so caught up in that you can get, I think, where you see coaches where they're almost oblivious to the big picture, and so for the coach to be able to sit back and look at the big picture and think about, well, I'd like to see this, done now, and then they're thinking ahead, and to be able to manage the game. I think that the fact that you're not calling the plays and you're not just on one side of the ball and everything, I think that definitely gives you a better perspective.
It has obviously worked both ways. Now, Dick called the plays in Philadelphia, but when he came to the Rams, which was 14 years later,
that's right.
He said, you know what? To be the coach, you have to be the CEO. And he felt free to walk into a defensive meeting during a game. He would go over to his defensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinators. Bobby, do you know who they were?
Yeah, Peter Junta and
John Bunning. And he'd go over and have a discussion with them.
Yeah.
And Mike Martz was the play caller with the St. Louis Rams.
That's right.
And Dick felt he had much more control. And it's the same with Nick. Nick is able to get involved with what the defense is doing. He's able to go into a linebacker meeting if he wants. The play calling today is done or should be done by the offensive coordinator. However, there are some who still call plays.
Kyle Shanahan
calls plays. And I'll tell you who else still calls plays. Doug Peterson.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. Doug does. You're right. And, I can see where, there are different ways to look at things. And I think that's something that, to think about. But the big thing is being honest. Like, what do you think is the best going to help you to win? What is, what's going to help us win? And I think that there, of course, there's more ways, to do things. There's more than one way to do things. So I could step back and see where, if you feel like you got such a feel for the offense, and for the way things are, and even though, if you are the head coach, you can always, get something in and say, hey, I want to do this now.
You're right. He's still heavily involved in that game.
I'll give you a great example where Doug Peterson made one of the great decisions, coaching decisions. They are you know about the game on Saturday night, that incredible game.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so they're late in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And it's 30-28. The Chargers are leading, and the Jaguars have a 4th down and 1, and Trevor Lawrence lines them up, and he's starting to call the plays, and Doug is looking on, and all of a sudden, what does he see? He sees the Chargers defense coming right to the line of scrimmage, backing up to stop the quarterback sneak. If they call it and it's stopped, game is over, basically, because they're down by 2 and they'll run the clock.
Yes.
So instead, Doug calls a timeout. Trevor Lawrence comes over. He comes back, and it's still risky, but they ran the sweep with Travis Etienne.
That's right.
He ran for 25 yards, and then it was just run the clock and kick the field goal. Doug won that game. Yeah,
you're right. I mean, he definitely has a feel, and he's obviously going down there and done such a great job, with what was the key, which is, I mean, it is, you got all these guys on the team, but how important is your quarterback? I mean, you can't say enough about how important, especially the way the game is now, in that it's a game, it's really an offensive game.
Yeah.
That's what the NFL wanted. They wanted to have more scoring. They wanted wide open. And that quarterback, if you have the quarterback, and I think it's going to be very interesting this week because, Daniel Jones, he was doing a lot of things that, Jalen Hurts has been doing all year, which is making plays with his arm, making plays with his leg.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be interesting about this game on Saturday is you got 2 quarterbacks making plays with their arm and making plays with their legs.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have both done amazing things. Daniel Jones, a lot of people the Giants weren't sure of him.
Yep.
They didn't pick up his option. they're going to have to either franchise him or sign him to a big new deal. But they didn't, and this year it just shows what the right coaches can do. Brian Dable. I mean, they didn't have a great record. They were 9-7-1. But the way he has brought that quarterback along, and this was a different Giants team, Garry Cobb.
No doubt about it. I mean, the thing about it is, the reason they had the record they had, which really, they have limitations. You can see some of the limitations on the personnel they have on the field. But the way they have done such a great job of not beating themselves, and that, I tell you, the game on Saturday, turnovers, taking care of the ball, it's going to play a key role.
Yeah.
And he's emphasized that. And he's gotten the connection with Daniel Jones to where he's taking care of the football. And that really is one of the reasons they'll be playing on Saturday, is that they don't give it to you. If you're going to beat them, you got to go out and beat them. They're not just going to throw the game away. And, Daniel Jones has grown so much because really, I mean, but in the time that he's been in the league, there are times I'm going like, oh, man, this guy will never, he doesn't get it, You see him just throw a ball up, but he hasn't done that this year. He's taking care of the ball.
No, he's not lately, at least.
Well, he hasn't done it. He's
on a streak.
No, he's hardly done it. I think he has only 5 interceptions.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the league this year. So they've emphasized that.
See that he had two negatives. Number one, he wasn't durable. He had a bunch of injuries, including last year. He had a serious neck injury that kept him out. There were rumors that his career could be over.
True.
So he overcame the neck injury, and the other was turnovers. He was at one point a turnover machine.
Yeah.
He took the chances and was picked off, and he fumbled a lot.
I remember him tripping over his own feet.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, you remember that? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that long run.
But I tell you, the thing that you saw with some of the bootlegs that he ran is that, and people really weren't giving him credit for it, is that son of a gun can run.
Yeah, he can run.
I mean, you see him take off and you're going like, why don't they catch him? Because he can run.
And he's got long legs.
He's got that long stride.
Yes,
do you think he can get away from Josh Sweat?
Well, that is a question for another break.
That's right.
We're going to take a break right now, and we will sweat that answer out right after this.
Can you guys go back to air? The computer's kind of messed up.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Our seasonal menu items are now available at all Chickie and Pete's locations. Enjoy our pork belly tacos, or share a plate of snap Philly crab fries featuring our world-famous crab fries and cheese sauce, topped with porchetta-style pork belly, fried onion, and shaved provolone. Don't miss our specialty cocktails, like the stateside mint chocotini or our cranberry margarita. Details at chickiesandpete's.com. Chickies and Pete's.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side. Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are, Chickies and Pete's, here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. Bobby, we're talking about the Eagles, the Giants, the quarterbacks, but I have to take a break for a moment because I just learned a couple things about Garry Cobb that even I didn't know, and I know Garry as a friend, and I've known Garry as a football player. Actually, I was in Detroit. I was not in Detroit. I went to Cindy, my wife was here tonight. She will remember the Eagles were going to play the Rams. It was the Rams in Columbus, Ohio. And it was near the end of August, and I arrived with the team to Columbus, Ohio, and Cindy called me.
Wow, I remember
and said to me, we're in Columbus. They're going to play that night.
Wow.
I think this is it. We had a little boy who was almost 4, and Cindy was expecting our second child. And she called me, and she said, I think this is going to be it. I said, well, just take your time, relax. I'll be home tonight after the game. I'm in Columbus.
You told her to relax?
I said, just wait a little bit.
She's about to give birth to a child, and you told her to relax.
As it turns out, I got home, but that day, the Eagles had traded Wilbur Montgomery to the Lions for Garry Cobb. And while we were playing that game, Garry hadn't been dressed for the team yet. He wasn't in uniform, and he came up to the broadcast booth, and that was the first time I had you as a halftime interview at Ohio Stadium.
That's right.
The day you arrived.
Wow.
You remember that?
I remember that. I mean, because, I had kind of gone through the entire, preseason. Well, really, the entire preseason up to that time where I knew I was going to get traded because the guy in Detroit, I'm going like, come on, man. He didn't hardly even give me a raise.
Who was that coach?
Russ, the general manager, Russ Thomas.
Okay.
Russ Thomas.
Russ Thomas.
And he was ridiculous. So I said, you know what, then get me out of here. You don't want to pay me, then get me out of here. And so went through the whole season, the preseason there, and then when I find out that it worked out a deal, and then, I wanted to, as soon as possible, meet the guys on the team, you know how important it is, to develop, that camaraderie and everything.
Sure.
So I wanted to go and meet the guys, and start watching the guys play. You get to know the players. You get to know who does what. And so I wanted to get down there, and I remember that was quite a time, And then, of course, there was a little old lady that when I first came to Philadelphia, I was in the hotel, and the lady was talking, and I guess I was talking to somebody. A little old lady walks up there and goes, "So you are what they traded for, Wilbur Montgomery. I want you to know you better get your act together. You're going to have to do this, that." Boy, she gave it to me. She said, "Boy, what you're going to have to do to replace Wilbur Montgomery." And, Wilbur was so loved here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was beloved. Yeah,
I mean, I'm going like, what have I got myself into?
Well, you know what? I described every touchdown that Wilbur Montgomery ever had since he took a kickoff coast to coast against the Giants and his last kickoff as an Eagle, and he never scored again. He went to Detroit, and he never scored another touchdown.
Is that
all
so?
of his career touchdowns were with the Eagles, while you had dozens of sacks and interceptions after that.
You were a perfect fit for that 46 defense, too.
Well,
as a linebacker.
I mean, that was like I said, Buddy was ahead of the NFL. And really it took, some doing to make the adjustment to play the way he wanted you to play. Because he wanted you to take off and give you the opportunity to make big plays, which in a lot of defenses, you didn't have those kind of chances as a linebacker the way he did. But he had a great defensive mind, and he was ahead of the league for a good while.
But you know what? The funny thing is, you talk about all the great players who played for Buddy. There was one guy, tell me if I'm right, one guy on that team, and he was a very, very popular Eagle who did not like Buddy and did not like Buddy's scheme, and that was Wes Hopkins.
You're right. He didn't like Wes's scheme. He didn't like Buddy's scheme, and because it changed some of the things he did. Mm-hmm. And Wes loved to play in that center field position.
Yeah, where he could freelance.
Where he could freelance, and where he gets that running start at the running back coming through those holes. And I remember numerous times. And really, I had a couple of guys I played with during my NFL career where I had to tell the safety, look, make sure you get them and not me.
Don't hit me. Yeah.
One of the guys was Wes Hopkins.
Yep.
The other guy I played with in college was Ronnie Lott.
Oh, really?
I mean, you want to talk about guys that would put the heat, where the back wanted nothing to do with those guys, but I had both of them coming up, and I had to let them know, look, just make sure you guys get the other guy. Because they were coming up, but both of those, and really it's really regretful that Wes didn't get more of the accolades of how great of a player he was.
He was a great player.
Because he was a special safety. He played with too many guys that made the plays. And, they really had that defense there originally. It was tailored for Wes to be able to utilize his skills. They let him do things on third down, kind of almost playing a linebacker position. But he was able to do that, and he was able to make big plays and get picks, interceptions, and that sort of thing. And he was an elite player, but he was the defense that Marion Campbell had was kind of designed to let him do a lot of those things.
Yeah, now you had a great career with the Lions before you came to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But what I don't remember, I didn't realize that you were actually, I must have known it then, that you were originally drafted by the Cowboys coming out of Southern Cal.
I was, and I spent, really was down there for the whole training camp. And I thought I had made the team, and then something happened where somebody got hurt, and they went ahead and let me go. And then when they did, then I got picked up by the Lions.
Wow.
And so
what round were you drafted in?
Ninth.
Ninth round.
Ninth round. That's right.
Wow.
And wound up being down there, and because like I said, I enjoyed it. Down there because they had a good team. During that when I was drafted there, you had Starback there. I remember running sprints with him. Because he used to always try to race the younger guys. Because, you were talking about a guy that was a competitor.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him because he was he was a competitor. He would compete with all the sprints. I'm out there and I'm out here running with Roger Staubach, with the sprints. He's going, nah, rookie, you're not going to beat me, whatever. He's, we're out there racing.
Boy, so you went from the Lions, and then in the trade for Wilma Montgomery, you came here.
That's right.
And then ultimately you finished your career with the Cowboys.
With the Cowboys.
How'd that occur?
Well, the way that occurred is I got released, Buddy, because went in and I had to talk with Buddy, because, and I always joke with Seth about this, was one of the guys that I was kind of working with a lot was Seth, working with him on different things as a linebacker and seeing him grow, and, Seth, the thing that impressed me was he was a worker. He was a guy that would spend the time on the detail and everything. And, I didn't know he was going to be as good as he became. But, he started off, he'd only played defensive line in college. Mm-hmm. So there was so much for him to learn. And a lot of times when we're in the huddle, I was talking to him during the games about what he's got to do, and going through him. And we had some young guys. And, I really enjoyed that, working with those guys. Almost kind of like coaching them and working with those guys. Because you had guys that were willing to work, and that really always inspired me, and they wanted to get better all the time. And to see Seth grow into the player he became was really something I enjoyed seeing him play.
All right, back with Garry Cobb right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Our seasonal menu items are now available at all Chicky and Pete's locations. Enjoy our pork belly tacos, or share a plate of South Philly crab fries featuring our world-famous crab fries and cheese sauce, topped with porchetta-style pork belly, fried onion, and shaved provolone. Don't miss our specialty cocktails, like the stateside mint chocotini or our cranberry margarita. Details at chickiesandpete's.com. Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, prove it.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true, whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
I SEPTA Philly.
I SEPTA Philly. I SEPTA Philly.
I ride the Broad Street line. Do you know how expensive parking is?
I do not have time to deal with traffic.
Because it's better for the environment.
I ride SEPTA all the time.
Monday through Friday, and whenever game day is.
I'm out the door and at my stop by 7:30.
I catch up on work when I ride.
I check Twitter, text my buddies.
I watch sports highlights or lowlights.
For real Philly fans, SEPTA is the hometown way to go. Ride with us at iseptafilly.com.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, for an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Philadelphia Protestant Home is a premier senior living community that offers affordable, quality, independent living, personal care, skilled nursing, and rehabilitation. PPH is located on a beautiful, serene campus within minutes of Bucks County and features a variety of on-site amenities for active lifestyles. Bowling alley, computer learning center, greenhouse, bank, market, and coming soon, a pharmacy. Call now to schedule a tour, 215-697-8000, or visit us on the web at pphfamily.org. At PPH, we're family.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are with Garry Cobb here at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. Time now for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. That's 215-806-3689.
And we have Jalen Hurts, full practice.
Full practice.
Well, it was a walkthrough, so.
But that's an estimated.
Yes.
He's full go. He's full go.
Hey, everything is estimated there. They competitive purposes. Please don't get me started. Yeah. Josh Sweat was back out there.
No Sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had the neck. The guy limited was Lane Johnson. He's coming back from a sports hernia, and that, from what I understand, that injury is worse than Jalen Hurts. The impact, the possible impact.
Well, sure, because he's going to have surgery when all this is over.
Right. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts doesn't need surgery. He just has to
Correct.
heal.
And you know what that's like, trying to.
I could imagine. I mean,
set a base against a pass rusher.
I know.
Yeah.
If you're down there in that area where you could get a strain, and that's got to be tough, man. I got to take my hat off to him being able to play with that.
He's giving it a shot.
I know.
How long he lasts, you got to cross your fingers on that one.
Because I kind of had to smile when I was looking at the Cowboys game and I saw Jason Peters walk off. I'm going, now where have I ever seen that before?
Yeah.
Hey, we got another injury here, Merrill.
That was a daily occurrence.
Yeah. Well, Linville Joseph showed up on the injury report with a calf.
With a calf.
Oh, yeah?
That's a calf injury is not
a
a good
calf
thing.
is a lot easier to manage than a bull. If he had to manage a bull, that would be a problem. But calves aren't very big.
All right.
So he and his calf will be better.
By that logic, yeah. And then Avonte Maddox.
Now, Mary had a little lamb. Yeah. Now, that was easier than a calf also, I believe.
Avonte Maddox still has that toe issue. He did not participate.
I'd be surprised.
I would. Back. Yeah, and I look forward to when he does come back because he makes them a better football team. I mean, he's without a doubt his ability, and really what they've done by adding him, where you got Avonte with his skills, and
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
He did a good job this last game.
Yeah,
he really did.
But see, to have both of them, what it really does is it puts an offense in a position where they're guessing because they can play games with you because both of them have the ability to play man-to-man. Both of them have the ability they're willing to come up and tackle, and they be able to use their versatility. It keeps defenses guessing where you can do blitzes and different things with those guys and move people around. And really, they also get their hands on a lot of footballs.
Garry, you were an outside linebacker.
Correct.
Right? Now, Hassan Reddick, is he a linebacker because he also holds the description as an edge rusher?
He's really more of an edge rusher, more than a linebacker, because they utilize him more in that position because he affects the game more. And so he really is an edge rusher. I mean, if you
we give the lineups, and he fits into the category we say the linebackers are Hassan Reddick. And
now, they utilize him some. He will play a linebacker position, but for the most part, he is on the line and he's rushing the passer.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's where they utilize him. And really, when you think about it,
What a great pickup.
Yeah, that's right. The times that he's not rushing the passer, you're doing the other team a favor.
Uh-huh.
See? So they want to get him in positions where he's rushing the passer and let other guys, play. If they got to drop, they'd rather somebody else drop and he be the one rushing the passer. I mean, you see the success he's had, and he's getting better and better at his technique.
You're right.
I mean,
16 sacks.
I mean, he's just really just.
He's been a terror late in the season.
He's getting even better.
You think that has anything to do? He's a great studier of film. Do you think that has something to do with other people wearing down a little bit and him finding that weakness? Or
I think so. And
he's really good at film.
And he's getting even better at with his technique. In that he uses the fact that he can go down so low, and that's those big offensive tackles. That's something they don't like, because I mean they're so big, but when a guy goes down so low to where he's almost on the ground coming around the corner, it's hard for the big defensive tackles to block him. And he has really been utilized, and where he's got the spin move now.
Yeah.
You see where he's developed that. He wasn't utilizing that as much early in the season. Now he does a spin move, and the guy's wondering, like, what happened? I'm going like, yeah, what did happen? He's in the backfield, and he's making tackle on the quarterback.
He's right there,
and
right
really,
around the ball.
But the thing that's going to play, and now one of the things he does that we need to see on Saturday, which is, hey, if you get a chance to get that ball out, get that ball out.
Yeah.
The ball is the most important thing. A turnover here or there is it's like gold. It's the biggest stat, turnovers. If you can force turnovers, you're going to win games. And that's going to be the key in this game is when you get an opportunity, you're near that quarterback, and you can knock that ball out, it's better to knock the ball out and get a hold of that ball and force the turnover.
Gary, I'll tell you who else I really like, and I still to this day cannot believe that the Eagles stole him as an undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin. And T.J. Edwards has had a tremendous year.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He is, it just seems like he's just getting much more comfortable with the defense, that he knows and he anticipates everything so well. And he's had a great year. And, you don't think that he can do some of the things he does, because a lot of times he's in a situation where he's covering a wide receiver in a certain space.
Yeah.
And he's in that zone. And that's tough on a linebacker. And you got those quick guys in there you got to stay with. But he's done a great job. He's done a great job making plays against the run. And I know that he's seems to be more and more comfortable with the way things are going, because they need these guys. Hey, a turnover here or there. I want them. If I had a chance to talk with them, man, they're going like, man, you're a pest. Because I'll be saying, turnovers, turnovers, turnovers.
Yeah.
We're going after that football. We get that football out, and we're going to be going to Arizona if we get that football out in these next couple games, buddies. That's going to be the key. Turnovers. If they win the turnover battle, chances are you're going to win the game. Because, especially you're playing against good teams. The team that takes care of the ball is probably going to be the teams that are going to win.
We're not supposed to look ahead, but Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Well, I think that...
And that's the rookie quarterback for the San Francisco
that's right.
49ers.
Yes, he's that young quarterback. And, I think he looks impressive. He's done a great job of not letting the situation overwhelm him. It seems like he does a good job of staying calm and in looking for a second and third receiver. And they've done a great job of, making sure he's got plenty of time. And that running game, and when you're running play action pass, a lot of times the quarterback gets plenty of time to make decisions. But I think that you can go after him.
I do too. I think the Eagles have the defense that could force some turnovers.
That's
there.
right. I think if they put some pressure on him, I think that
I'm getting ahead, but
yeah, you are getting ahead.
I see that happen. Yeah,
you are getting ahead.
Where are you staying in Phoenix? By the way,
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay,
I'm not talking about Phoenix.
Okay,
I listen. I hear so many people saying that this is not going to be a big deal for the Eagles. It's a fait accompli. They're just going to get dispensed of the Giants. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The Giants are going to make this tough. Yeah. I do not think this game is going to be decided until at least midway to late in the fourth quarter.
At least not at halftime. Maybe halftime.
I see the way that they're playing, and I think you could be you could be right, because they're just playing good football. You could see the confidence. in Jones, the way he's throwing. I mean, the accuracy.
Absolutely.
He's throwing the ball better than I've ever seen him throw.
Not beating themselves. You mentioned that. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. And you see some of those guys on the defensive line, man, they got some. I mean, as for just defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leonard Williams, yeah.
They're two
Dexter
monsters.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
You're right.
Dexter Lawrence. I'm going like, wow.
You
Look
will
at the way.
find.
He's just
Are there
running over guys.
Any better combination? I don't think there's a better combination in the league.
I don't know that I've seen one.
Yeah.
So, they got the work cut out for them. I mean, this is going to be some good football. Now, they got weaknesses in other areas, which I think the Eagles can take advantage of.
The back end of the second.
Yeah, and I just think it's very tough. And this is the way it's been all year.
I don't think they have great wide receivers.
Yeah, they really don't.
Darius Slayton, but he did nothing.
He dropped that ball,
dropped
right?
that ball.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Crucial drop.
But the thing that I think the Eagles can exploit is, their receivers against the Giants, because the Eagles. I mean, these guys they got two. I mean, incredible receivers. Really, three. You throw Goddard in there. It really it's. I don't. There's not a better group in the league.
No. Yeah.
When they get in one-on-one situations all year, Jalen has just thrown the ball up. If they're in one-on-one, these guys come down with the ball.
Yeah.
I mean. Now with A.J. Brown, you understand. I don't know, playing basketball, if you've ever been in a situation, see, I grew up playing a lot of basketball too, that if you got a big guy pushing on you, you can't jump.
Yeah.
And that's what A.J. does. Yeah. He pushes them down below the waist, so the DB cannot jump. I'm serious. Because he's so much stronger than the DB.
Well, does he push him off with his knees?
Well, no, with his arm.
With his arm.
See, he uses the back of the back of. This is the way they used to do it in basketball. You use the back of your hand. You push up against the guy. He cannot jump if you're bigger and stronger than
he
is.
You don't see that.
You don't see that. So they don't call it. The guy's crying and everything, but the ref's going, "What do you want me to do?" Because he's pushing them down below. Now, if you push up high, see, they call that.
Yeah.
But the good receivers, they all push down low.
Push down low.
And that's what A.J. does, and that's why when the ball's in the air, his buddies are probably saying, "Why don't you jump?" I can't. He's pushing.
Well, how about Devontae Smith, who's a little bitty guy?
That's right.
He weighs about 170, 175.
Yeah.
But he is unbelievable around the sideline.
That's right.
How he gets those toes in.
Now he's a very good basketball player.
I'm
and you
sure.
can see he's got that timing to go up and catch the ball at its highest point, and he does a great job of catching the ball. He's got great hands, and his timing is just outstanding.
That toe tap on the
That's
sideline.
right, the toe tap. Yeah,
that's
very skilled. And you start appreciating how good he is because the way he runs his routes, the way he catches the ball. He'll catch the ball in his hands. He'll catch the ball at its highest point. You can see you've got a well-disciplined, complete receiver. Yeah. That's what you got in both of those guys. And I know Jalen appreciates them, but he's got confidence in them. And really, that's something that he developed this year. It grew. That when he sees them in a one-on-one situation, now he usually, like he kind of made that mistake of throwing the ball in the end zone. I don't know what his thinking was then, but there were a few guys there around Devontae. But most of the time, it's just one-on-one. When they're in a one-on-one situation, Jalen trusts them that if they don't catch it, nobody's going to catch it. Now, that's what a quarterback will tell you because he doesn't want to throw interceptions. But what they do is they will take care of the ball, and those guys have been coming down with the ball in one-on-one situations.
Okay, we'll be back right after this.
Okay, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Our seasonal menu items are now available at all Chicky and Pete's locations. Enjoy our pork belly tacos or share a plate of South Philly crab fries featuring our world-famous crab fries and cheese sauce, topped with porchetta-style pork belly, fried onion, and shaved provolone. Don't miss our specialty cocktails like the stateside mint chocotini or our cranberry margarita. Details at chickiesandpete's.com. Chickies and Pete's.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side. Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe La Cola. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe La Cola website at grandcafelacola.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. Or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola. We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are here at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. Merrill Reese, Bob Grotz, and Garry Cobb. All right, time now for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com. Keys to the Game brought to you by Penworth Financial. Garry, I'm going to call on you first. We'll each give a key. And I'm going to be Karnak right here, and I think you're going to say the first key to the game is win the battle of turnovers.
Without a doubt. That's what I think.
That's what you've been preaching.
It's going to be turnovers, and I think that, the great thing about the Giants is they have been taking care of the ball well. The Eagles need to get that ball out there, fumble here or there when they get a chance to hit Jones. They're coming up from behind him, and they can get that ball out on the ground. They got to make sure that they do it and take advantage of it. But, see, you got to be thinking that way and realize how important those turnovers are going to be, because next to the score, the most important stat is turnovers. That kind of dictates who wins. So they want to come out on top. Got to win that turnover.
Okay, Jonathan Gannon would agree with you.
Okay, Bobby, do you want to give one?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Give one. It's going to be vital for the Eagles to stop the run.
Okay. Well, you're talking Saquon Barkley.
Okay, but and if you don't stop the run, you're going to let them hang around. And you don't want to do that, because then you'll have Daniel Jones picking and choosing when he's going to run, and you'll have them controlling the ball, and Jalen Hurts won't be able to get into a rhythm. And by the way, every time the Eagles have a bye or they're coming off a little bit of a break, they come out rusty, Merrill. Every time. So you need to get into a rhythm fast. So definitely you got to stop the run.
Okay, and I'm going to give you the third one because I'm picking it up off of what you guys said. And I think one of the keys to this game is pick up the blitz, because the Giants do not have a great secondary.
Yeah.
They're trying to make up for it with frequent blitzes. And Jalen Hurts is smart, He can get rid of the ball, and you're going to throw a lot of crossing patterns to Dallas Goedert.
You know, this could be one of the benefits, the fact that they played them 3 times. This is the 3rd time because they showed a lot of their blitzes in the last game. And so the Eagles are going to be able to anticipate things. And when you do blitz, I mean, you could make a big play defensively, but you also are prone to big plays offensively. And I think that's going to give the Eagles chances to make big plays when they are trying to blitz him, especially Jalen's good enough to where he dictates and he's able to pick up things before the guy comes. It really is makes the defense vulnerable.
What's your basic success rate on blitzes? Is it below 50%? Do half of them work?
Yeah, I would say it's below 50%.
Okay.
Yeah, and really depends on how you're judging them.
Okay.
But most of the time, I think it's lower than 50%.
Okay. We have a few minutes left, so we are going to pick games.
I'll take the Chiefs.
All right, let's start out with the Eagles-Giants because we've been talking about that for a while. Bob, it's safe to think you're picking the Eagles?
3 for the Eagles, yeah.
Okay, and Gary, you're...
That's right. Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles.
I think the Giants are going to miss a field goal late.
Why? Who's kicking? Rick Maher?
Graham Gano.
Graham Gano is one of the best kickers in football.
Yeah.
But how about Maher last night?
Can you believe that?
4 extra points.
Can you believe it? Oh, man. In a way, I mean, I'm kind of feeling for him going, I want to see a guy just fall apart.
In golf.
I know, and the win like that.
And in golf, we call that the yips.
Yeah, that is the yips.
Where you can't hit that 2-foot putt.
That's right.
I mean, everybody misses an extra point every now and then, even Jake.
Yeah.
But 4 in a row?
That was excruciating. And,
I felt so bad for him.
My wife, she was going, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Going, don't feel too bad for him now. We wouldn't mind him, to stink up the joint, later on.
Somebody said it was like watching a fire.
Okay.
It's a bad thing, but you can't. You still got to keep watching to see how
keep
bad
your eyes
it
off
gets.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
that was amazing.
Let's go the first game Sunday, and I'll get to the stadium early
Kansas
enough to watch
City.
it. Jacksonville and Kansas City.
I got to go KC. I mean, I commend them for the job they did coming back like that, but I think that's the last we'll see of Jacksonville.
I think so, too.
I think so, too. I hate
I like
to
his
say
rationale.
it. I love Trevor Lawrence, but I love Patrick Mahomes even more at this stage of his career.
Trevor Lawrence may throw 8 interceptions this week.
What's great about Trevor Lawrence, he can throw 14 interceptions, and it's like he never threw any.
Yeah.
He has a short memory. He's poised. He smiles. He gets up, and he goes gunning again.
4 interceptions, and they won.
That is a plus when you've got that kind of attitude and a mentality, because you got to be able to do that.
He's going to be great. He is going to be great. All right, how about this one? Cincinnati at Buffalo.
I know where you're going with this one, Merrill.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and go Cincy.
Go ahead. Bobby?
Yeah, that's a bold pick.
I mean,
I'm going with Buffalo for sentimental reasons.
Yeah, I can understand. I know. But I just, I don't think they can turn the ball over that much. They've been
all right. But I got something for you.
Okay.
Cincinnati lost their 3rd offensive lineman.
Yeah,
but Buffalo has no pass rush.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going with Buffalo.
I'm going with
Neither
Buffalo.
one of them distinguished themselves because they both almost lost to 3rd-string quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm Buffalo.
That's true.
You're Buffalo
I'm
too.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Okay.
For sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
For sentimental reasons.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know what the sentiment is, but at
my
any rate-
father is from Buffalo.
Oh,
yeah. He went to St. Bonaventure with Ted Marchabrody. You're a good
Is that
pal.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that so?
All right. Now, finally, Dallas at San Francisco. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm rooting for the Cowboys.
I am.
I want to relive January 11th, 1981, when the Eagles beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game.
Wilbert Montgomery will have to be the honorary captain for that game.
Oh, boy, they would fly Wilbert in.
Yeah.
Huh?
You know, I told Nick Sirianni today, I said, Nick, that was one of the great thrills of my life to call that game.
Yeah.
He said, when was it? I said, January 11th, 1981. And Nick said to me, I was 3 months old.
Wow.
He was 3 months old.
Wow.
I wasn't 3 months old.
Woo.
I told him I was 14, but I don't think he believed me.
Wow.
No.
Anyhow.
I like San Francisco.
That's going to wrap us up. We're going to thank our producer.
Oh, we didn't pick. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't pick.
Yeah, I want
You're picking
SFO.
SF? Gary, who are you
SFO.
picking?
Yeah, I'm going to go Dallas.
All right.
And I'm going to go Dallas, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, our producer. And Chris Irmer always does
Great
a great
job.
job. Bill Werndale has been here tonight. entertaining my
Our
wife,
director of
Cindy
choreography.
Reese. She has actually sat there listening to Bill's stories for the last hour. So for Bob Grotz and our great guest,
God bless her,
Garry Cobb, this is Merrill Reese.
A
Have
proven
great
commodity.
night. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you Saturday from the link.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.